Hey guys, I am Game Advisor and welcome back to another Icarus update video. Well, surprise, surprise, we got the week 19 Scorpion boss update a day early. We're used to usually getting these updates usually on Friday or extremely late on Thursday, so we got it actually really early on Thursday, and it's really just nice to have an update that came out a little early. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the juicy details of this update. So first up, we have the new Scorpion boss mission. Now I will say we're going to be making a video on this, so if you're looking forward to knowing more about how to actually defeat him and how the mission works and actually getting to see him, I highly recommend you check that out. We will probably have the video out no later than Tuesday. Otherwise, definitely excited to see a new boss in the game. We have not had any new bosses since the game's release, so it's definitely an A+ thing to add for me. Supposedly, this boss is going to be fairly difficult, much more comparative to the cave worm compared to like the mammoth or something, so I'm definitely excited to jump in there and get a feel for how it actually is. Otherwise, we do have the armor durability that they've now added into the game, and the way this armor durability kind of works is essentially it is just like your tool. It's like your weapons, it's like any other item in the game that has durability previously. If you take damage with your armor on, it will lose durability over time. Once it reaches 0, it can be repaired. Of course, I'm assuming exotics cannot be repaired, but regardless, it is just worth mentioning that your armor can break, and it will break slowly over time. It's just not too much of an issue. We did a mission with it. We took quite a few hits, and the durability did not go down that much over the course of an entire mission, at least with the exotic armor. I can't speak for all of the armor types, but like I said, if you are wearing the exotic type, I wouldn't worry too much about this mechanic, as it probably won't affect you that much unless you're doing extremely long-term missions. After that is the second mission they've added to this update. This mission is going to be the one that unlocks you the 2 new items they've added. I will be putting out a guide on this one as well, so do be looking forward to that. It will be coming out very soon, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see it. Otherwise, this is definitely a fun mission. We had a lot of fun with it. It adds a new kind of mini scorpion in a way. You get young scorpions added to it. I don't want to spoil it all for you, but basically they die usually in about 1 good arrow or 1 good hit from a good melee weapon. They're not that hard to actually beat. The idea here is that they're adding more variants for the scorpion and more variants for different mobs in the game, so I'm really happy to see that. It was a really cool idea and a really fun thing to add into the game. It does take a while though, but again, check out the mission guide if you want to know more about it. Otherwise, that mission will also be unlocking the 2 new items they've implemented with this update. These 2 new items are going to be the Scorpion Trap and the Scorpion Hedgehog. The Scorpion Trap essentially acts kind of like a bear trap. You place it down, you then interact with it to make it set, and then anything that walks through it will then be held in place for about 3 or 4 seconds. It's a new type of item in the game, and it's great for any time you're trying to fight things like bears, or you're just trying to run away from something. Whatever that may be, you can set it down, interact with it, and it will hold that animal tight. I think this is going to be used a lot when dealing with bosses and polar bears, but again, we haven't actually fought the boss enough to be able to tell you whether or not it's going to work on bosses. Either way, it's definitely a welcomed addition. We always like new items, and it's pretty cheap to make. However, to do the mission, it's going to be pretty far in. The other item introduced was the Scorpion Hedgehog. If you've ever used wooden hedgehogs before, these essentially act the same way, except they're very fast to put down and add poison damage. All you need to do is quickly drop it on the ground, and anything that runs into it will take poison damage as well as the normal wooden hedgehog damage. This can be extremely valuable if you know what you're doing when you're trying to fight things like polar bears or any other dangerous animal for that matter. The poison isn't that much, to be completely honest with you. I think it's about 4 to 5 damage per tick and lasts roughly 8 to 10 seconds. So it's really not that impactful, as it's going to do about 50 damage. But if they're taking multiple hits from it, it can quickly stack up the poison, and they can take a lot of damage very quickly. So it's going to be about as useful as a wooden hedgehog. If you didn't use it before, I doubt you're going to use it now, unless you're maybe trying to use it on a boss to get it poisoned or something. But nonetheless, a welcome addition to the game. Real quick, it's also worth mentioning that they did add coal and aluminum to the deep mining system scanner. It just wasn't in there before, so they've gone ahead and put it in there. If that's something you use, now you've got it available to you. Otherwise, the other thing I wanted to mention to you is that now you don't have to wait for things to smelt based on the order they're in on the little left side inside furnaces or inside campfires. It will now cook based on what order it's in inside the actual furnace. This means if, say, you want to smelt copper before iron or iron before copper, you just place that one at the front of the queue in the little inventory window for the furnace, and it will smelt that first. This is great, as I know a lot of players want to just throw all their stuff in there, and sometimes that's okay to just let it all smelt down, but other times you want something to smelt specifically first, and you don't want to have to go store your gold, say, in a different storage space, or store your copper in a different storage space so that it doesn't smelt first. So again, a welcome addition. I think a lot of people have been asking for that, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it. Otherwise, we really don't have a lot that they've added here. There's just kind of some updates and fixes they've added in, new textures, nothing really too game-changing for you. And to be honest with you, I'm fine with that. This update was more than what I expected, getting a whole new boss, a whole new mission, 2 new items, and fixing the whole smelting system is more than enough for me. I don't know how impactful the armor breaking is really going to be at this point in time, but it may matter for some of you more than others. With that being said, I'm really enjoying this update. I hope you guys do too. Subscribe for more Icarus and other survival game content. Thank you so much for watching once again. I'm Game Advisor, and I'll see you next time.